A Short Guide to Bullet Journaling for High Schoolers by Fetterolf. The human brain can store an average of 34 gigabytes of information in one day. That's a lot of information, and the amount is only increasing with more technology at our fingertips. With all that knowledge swimming around in your head, it's no wonder that you can't remember when that assignment is due. Many schools give students planners in September at the beginning of the school year. Some students use them, but most end up in the recycling bins by the second week of school. They never seem to work. Most are too small, have too many lines, or are just plain ugly. Here is a different type of planner. Well, actually, it's not a planner at all. It's a notebook that can be used however you want. Meet the bullet journal. The concept was created by Ryder Carroll in 2007. It basically combines your goals, events, and daily tasks into one notebook, and all you need is a notebook and pen. The bullet journal is made up of 5 pieces: the index, the future log, the monthly log, the daily log, and collections. Index is exactly what it sounds like, the place where you would track all your content. It will look something like this: the topics alongside their corresponding page numbers. The topics do not have to be in order, it's just important that you know where to locate them without flipping through a bunch of pages. While you are here, you will also need to number all the pages of your notebook so that the index works. The next step is the future log. This is where you will place all your tasks that fall outside the current month. You can divide up the page into the coming months like I have here, or dedicate a page to each month. You can add the dates that correspond with each task, or just make a list. Make sure to add the page numbers in the index. The next part of your bullet journal is the monthly log. This is where you will make a list of each task that falls into the current month and the date it's due by. This is particularly helpful when you have a big project for a class or a paper due in a couple weeks. You will make a vertical list of each date and weekday in the month, and then the due date, as I have here. Remember that you do this each month. Next is the daily log. This is the meat of your bullet journal. It's similar to a planner, but it catches all your thoughts and tasks throughout the day. You can also use this feature to log how you felt about events, like time spent with friends. Now, in order to make this feature most effective, there are several symbols that keep each task or event current in your bullet journal. The first is the dash, which represents a note. It will look something like this. The next is an O shape that shows an event, like soccer game at 4 p.m. The next symbol is a solid dot that represents a task. This could represent homework for the night. An X is the next symbol, and this shows that the task has been completed. The greater than arrow represents that the task has been migrated, which I will explain later. The less than arrow shows that the task has been scheduled. This means that the task falls outside of the current month, so the left arrow is used, so it is put in the future log in the front of your book. It's important to remember that these notes shouldn't be too short that you forget the information, but also not too long that it's redundant. Another feature in the bullet journal are collections. These store related content. Some examples of this are things we've already covered, like the index. A collection is useful for large projects that will span multiple months and have many due dates. An example of this would be college applications. A collection is useful for this because it has so many moving parts, like essays and teacher recommendations, all with different due dates. The overview is shown here. Going back to what I said earlier, migration is an important tool when it comes to a task. This filters tasks and ideas and makes the bullet journal more effective, as seen in this diagram. It asks the question, is this really worth my time? If it is, then the task gets migrated, which means it gets rewritten in the next daily log or even monthly log. Basically, if it is still important, you will rewrite it until the task is completed. This brings up the importance of time when it comes to the bullet journal. It's most effective when you spend at least 5 minutes each morning and evening going over your day in your bullet journal. Use this time to write out tasks and then later reflect on them. It may seem really annoying and tedious when you have to go over everything twice a day, but by doing this, it takes your goals and puts them into action. Now they're not just dreams. Handwriting everything in your bullet journal is also extremely important because it helps you discover what is really worth your time. This is especially helpful when it comes to homework. I hope you found this video helpful and discovered a more useful way to manage your time. It's definitely helped me. If you have questions, check out the book, The Bullet Journal Method by Ryder Carroll. Good luck!